iCCupTV YouTube viewers. This is Lord Lokgar with my special co-caster,
Black.
who is...
The Game Replays Senior Tournament staff member. And today we'll be bringing you a fun little game on Leviathan Hive between two extremely high-ranked players. We've got on the left with kind of a black base color scheme. That is black, that's not just my low graphics, right?
I don't know, sometimes, like, it shows up as black to me too, and then within, like, a minute of the game, it'll be bright and colorful.
Ah, gotcha. But yes, anyways, in the black on the left, we've got our good friend Texaneous playing Mekboy, and on the right, we've got DrifterXero fielding the Inquistor with another black color scheme. But anyways, this was a popular replay over at GameReplays.org, and we've both taken a look through it, and yeah, looks to be a good game. So,
And I have been playing Inquisitor a little bit more just to get into IG's head so I can counter them better as NIDs, so I look forward to seeing, you know, good Inquisitor play.
Plus Tex's mech play has just been spot on as of late, with a bunch of little tricks, like even using stuff like the Mekboy mines, so...
Which hasn't been seen since 1.3, I think, so this will be very interesting.
Yep. Alright, without further ado, you want to do the countdown?
No.
Oh.
Front seat driver Black, go.
In any case, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, and so we begin.
So we do begin. Pretty standard build orders from both players, going with a range squad first.
Because of the power of the Sentinel Stomp, it's really, really rare that you'll be able to effectively get away with going multiple melee squads against them.
Meanwhile, a little bit interesting cap orders from both players. Tex is going very power heavy, trying to get his nodes up first, while the Inquisitor is going straight for the VP instead of the natural power node of DrifterXero.
And this is really indicative of the developing metagame between Orcs and IG. IG, you can see, is focusing on requisition points and VPs, while because you need power to counter things like the Sentinel Guardsman combo as Orcs, Texaneous is just focusing on getting that power up and running immediately so he can get out his big shootas, lootas, and whatever mech upgrades he decides to go with.
Yeah, I've noticed as IG, you don't really need that power node or generators until very late into the game, or late relatively to other races.
Yep. And that's partially because you really don't want to be buying tier 1.5 units as IG, because they don't do so much. But anyway.
First off of the game,
and that's a really smart retreat on Tex's part there, because with the guardsman there with the Sentinel, there was no way he was going to be able to inflict really any attrition or significant casualties there. So by just retreating, he saves himself the wreck bleed and is able to pop right back out with this third shooter that's coming out to try and push off the Sentinel and aggressive capping force. Meanwhile, we've got the mech coming up on the right side and doing a little bit of VP harassment, Warp Strider X-Arch style, just teleporting around and stealing points.
Sneaky git.
Yeah, such a sneaky git. Although, if he's the sneaky git, what does that make the commando?
Useless. Anyway, so crossbow pistol coming up from the Inquisitor. They had a bug fix where now it will properly apply the damage. So basically, it gives you an ability that will snare units as well as do a little bit of damage over time for them. So it's very powerful if it works. You know, rely on like ults in their snare, they're taking extra damage.
Hammer the Witches goes down on the mech there, stunning and doing 100 damage to him. And that crossbow pistol is also going to do very, very... Oh, there goes the ability.
Yep, and it snares both of them.
And that's going to continue to be the case, especially against this 3x big shoot to start. And we've got a turret coming up over here. I don't know how I picked it up or where it came from. It's been a constant problem considering I used to go technically all the time. But anyways, this is just going to get spiked down extremely quickly. There's no real way to tell whether he got the kill there or whether it was salvage, but I'm going to assume he got the kill, considering how long it takes for it to salvage. And right now, despite the early advantage of IG's rec-only tier 1 squads, we see that Tex has managed to push himself up to dominant map control, as he's contesting every single VP and knocking at the door of DrifterXero's power farm. However, blocking with all your squads to get stomped all at once is just not very productive.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why he's not using aiming what's that, because it would allow him to put on extra hurt on the guardsmen so that they can't fire back, and they won't be able to fire back, so they won't be doing any damage, or at least, you know, do that to the Inquisitor so she can't get into melee.
Yeah, that may be beneficial. It also would prevent the guardsmen from following the sentinel around to repair it. So doing that little back and forth kiting dance that you see a lot from the sentinel would be a lot harder. And we've got a heavy weapons squad coming down from DrifterXero. This is a smart response to those 3x big shooters. Suppression very good against massed range.
Mekboy is able just to teleport right into melee and start meleeing him, but with good sentinel play, that won't really be an issue because you have a stomp waiting for the mech.
And I'm loving how quick Tex is on the retreat. Like, he's got this Saga squad harassing around the left side of the map, and as soon as it comes into any danger at all, he immediately retreats it, saves the requisition, and is very, very smart about getting the maximum amount from his squad.
Heavy weapons squad in favor of going to tier 2, and actually Tex is going to tier 2 at relatively the same speed, which is interesting because most IG players are able to tech up sooner, especially since he spent maximum 20 hours so far.
Yeah. Tex has played an amazing early game and really pushed off the IG where it's at its strongest. In this matchup, the Imperial Guard does have a bit of an advantage in the opening minutes, but as you make that T2 tech, it really stabilizes a lot.
The Max with this electric armor is really one of the better heroes in comparing guards.
Yeah, you blob up around that Chimera at your own risk against the mech. I'm a bit
heroes and trying to repair them. it always hurts me more than it helps me because
yeah, you gotta get used to how they stomp going down on those sluggers, but you gotta get used to how the guardsman body block, especially with the set. But yes, it'll be interesting to see. Oh, that'd be interesting. Weird Boy instead of Truck first.
Zap, of course, being very useful against guardsmen who are blobbed up to repair, as well as his default tag.
I'm really liking the choice of a Weird Boy first. Warp Bomb is going to be awesome at keeping that Inquisitor off his shoot-em mass. And like you said, Zap is just going to be absolutely devastating against all of these guardsmen, especially bracing for that inevitable Chimera. Also to note,
on the front of Inquisitors and Wargears with crossbow pistol, would you think that maybe the holy torch thing would be a little bit more useful in that it gives her an upgraded melee attack, and the ability allows her to place like a little bit of a fire marker around anywhere, and it deals constant DOT damage, and I think it does more damage than the actual crossbow pistol ability. Would you think that's more useful because of the ability to not deny a whole area of movement to the shooters unless they take a lot of damage?
It's basically potato. Both of them are aerial denial tools that are going to be extremely effective against anything, basically, the Orcs field, especially a 3x shooter build. Personally, I like the crossbow more because it allows you to inflict that ranged attrition that really ends up hurting the orcs in the end, like you saw from back in the day when Rangers used to absolutely muck up an orc's day. Also, it's going to pair extremely well if Drifter gets a Manticore at any point. Just freezing those units in place and raining down the shells on top of them is extremely devastating. And also, I'm not the biggest fan of Holy Pyre after it got nerfed in beta, because it used to be ridiculous. So, although I could see it working extremely well in this circumstance, I do like the choice of the crossbow.
Rude boys force which is the rest of his squad. Plasma guns on the guardsmen, which I assume is intended to counter eventual knobs when they start coming up, because plasma really doesn't help too much against shooters, really flames out there. But the Chimera is out now, and Texaneous is sort of AED. Chimera being reinforced by reinforced mobile reinforcements guard. And I know Nem's been pretty he's told me that you need a Chimera as IG-Inq. Guards are so squishy in general, even though you get a lot of them and they reinforced very fast. With both leaders, they reinforce 3 to 4 at a time. Sergeant, they upgrade.
With Sergeant, it's 2. Commissar, it's 3 at a time. And yeah, you do need that on the field reinforcement. And Bane Wolf on the bottom.
Man, a Bane Wolf out on the field. It's like a flamer tank with a nice ability that will snare unit. Will really just make a whole location into a swamp. Slug is gen bashing, not ring fancy yet. They have the burners. Meanwhile, the mech's just being annoying and harassing the requisition points, which is really good on this map. This map only has 4 requisition points. You know, the ones that are just really easy to defend, you really need to harass the supply lines. And with DrifterXero kind of capping X zone, he's going out to fully cap his opponents. Just to battle the huge upgrade that's going to be in this game. Because both players in the field incredibly large.
Yeah, if you can switch over to the resources tab real quick, you'll see that DrifterXero has basically crippling upkeep at this point. That's what happens when you get these fully upgraded guardsman squads on the field.
Especially on this map, and then on top of it, he's next to his Chimera, possibly with Overwatch on, I don't know, you can't really see with the replays. But, you know, he's going to be reinforcing from that Chimera with only a reckoning from 182 at this point. You just inflict huge losses to the guardsmen with the weird boys also. It's going to be devastating to death threat out. There's no real AV out for it could go Judgment Pistol if he ever saves up enough for it. But,
and I really like this choice of a Walker to force AV from the IG player here. There's been death threats aren't really seen as much, but I know at least in my games versus Tex that he puts them to devastating use, especially with the Mech Global Cult of Speed that speeds up its movement, that allows it to really get on top of it.
Stacks with Rampage.
Yep, it's ridiculous. And we're about to see one of Tex's trademark tricks coming out here. Tank Bust is in the war track.
So, the Bang Bust. I remember the good old days of 3v3 where we just load up troops into trucks and move them right behind enemies.
Yeah, people didn't figure out that they were transports for a while there.
Oh, that's because it took forever to load them in. Relic made it so loading troops into transports and dampers is being instant now, so it's really easy and useful.
Yep. And this is going to be a futile endeavor on the left for this Inquisitor to try and cap that point, with the Weird Boy constantly knocking her back.
Indeed. Weird Boy. I remember when I first saw Weird Boy against me, and I thought that was some sort of ability he was able to spam. I had no idea that was his default. I was just like, what is that ability? He was like, it's not happening.
And here it comes down an engagement. And we've got the tank busters popping out of the trucks and going for that Chimera. So key in stopping the IG-Inq. And there is that kind of body blocking by the guardsman that you were mentioning earlier. And this Death Dread is just right up on it, and it's not going to be able to get away at this point, despite the support of the missile set.
Yeah, his real hope is just to repair past the damage, but yeah, real armor is now dead. War truck. Yeah, but now it's down.
Oh yeah. And in terms of a trade, a Chimera is incredibly more expensive than a simple little war truck.
Yeah, the war truck is easily replaced with the Death Dread is still amazingly well. Chasing out the main blade, I'll probably go out to the guard to have more losses on it, but wow, good job by Tex. Stormtroopers
and meanwhile,
upgrading with Meltas, and they're going to be...
And they're one of the best anti-walker counters in the game, so that'll do extremely well for DrifterXero. But at the same time, it's on a squad that bleeds a ton, and it really, really, really is going to be prohibitive on his tech.
They
especially
are
since
requisition-only squads, though. The upgrade has power, and they do pretty well against infantry as well.
But against 3x Big Shooter, it's just going to be an uphill battle.
Funny,
but yeah, the Sluggas, not sure if you caught this on camera, but they snuck around and wiped out the rest of DrifterXero's gen farm.
And the battery pack upgrade for the mech, that's going to allow him to heal up the Death Dread without actually repairing it, or, you know, knobs.
They changed that, actually.
Really
it doesn't heal vehicles anymore. Made me so sad.
It's a battery pack. How can batteries heal our humans? Or orcs, sorry.
How do living mushrooms fight wars?
This better be
I don't know.
That's pretty obvious. They do. Okay, but batteries don't work on orcsies. Whatever, that's weird, but okay. That makes me sad too.
Yeah, one of my favorite strats back in the day was just to go double Death Dread with the battery pack and just see how long I can keep them alive.
VB count 336 to 175.
So Texaneous is in a commanding position right now.
Yeah, if you go back to the tab, he's the one with the life cycle.
Yeah, and he's done an amazing job of squad preservation. Like, he hasn't lost anything besides that sacrificial war threat. Forgot this coming down on the Inquisitor. That's one of the excellent tier 3 warriors that project this circled flame around that does stun and incredible damage.
Oh yeah. Died, but they might get the Sentinel. They did get the
Yeah, but the real story there is, besides the squad kills and the victory in that fight from Texaneous, is the fact that he's got a 3 cap right now. And with sub 100 VPs for DrifterXero, it really appears that he's on the ropes. He's going to have to pull out a miracle here to come back, which is doable. He's got all the pieces he needs to fight off what's Texas fielded. He's just got to make them come together.
Sentinel's going to hurt him a bit, but it's very doable right now, especially with that amazing and vulnerabilities
and Sluggas take down a Banebolt. I gotta say that's a mistake. But at this point, he's scrambling for VPs and just trying to do what he can. And so it appears that he's just going to force off this Death Dread from the right. And if I were... looks like he's going to try and push up the middle to try and either reclaim the centermost or bottom VP.
Oh, there's a nice path right there. Both guards. I'm safe.
And Foot of Gore. Everything dies.
Chimera pathing for the win.
Yeah, and that Zap's still bouncing around there.
Hey, he still has he has green cover now though. That's useful.
Indeed, indeed. And I like how the Weird Boy was just able to stand there and take on the entire IG army. No big thing.
Weird boy. Weird boy.
Such a boss.
Maybe
Level 4 easy.
I think I'll sound clip 5-star doing his little foot of Gork thing and edit it into the game. Or
Oh,
if I
that would
still
be
have
amazing.
that terrible the sound clip of I believe Stephen Haynes saying terrible damage, maybe I'll just spam it everywhere.
Oh, heck yes. I don't know why we don't cast with a soundboard.
I know, right?
As proven by numerous radio talk show hosts, it greatly enhances whatever you're talking
Dude,
about.
we need a laugh track and maybe a clapping, clapping sounds like our laugh track, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would
Weird sound
really...
effects too, like springs and whatnot.
Oh, good times.
Very good times. So that's our cast. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll look forward to more YouTube stuff. The Dawn of War 2 Daily, which used to be every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 Eastern, is kind of getting hit by lack of time on both casters' parts. We're looking for people to fill in for us. Casters and cameramen as well. That way we can get a nice rotation going, so it can actually be, back to the old schedule, but until then it's going to be very sporadic, but we'll be uploading more YouTube stuff to hopefully counteract that. And, I guess that's it. So this is me, Lord Lokgar, signing off.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh wait, and you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/LordLockhart. Just don't expect too much Dawn of War 2 stuff on it.